Good afternoon, everyone. What an honor it is to have with me on the broadcast a gentleman that will turn 34 years old on July the 22nd. I'm sure he didn't appreciate me dropping that in, but he still looks like he's 19. What unbelievable seasons he had with the Allen Americans. And if we run these down for you real quick, he put together seasons of 125, 122, and 103-point seasons. Played 72 games, by the way, in all 3 years in Allen. Please welcome Chad Costello. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to see that. As mentioned before, it's good to see that city of Allen background. We're still here in Germany, so anything that reminds us of the United States right now, we're missing you guys and missing being back.
Well, we miss you too, but first of all, I got to ask, is everybody safe and healthy there in your family?
Yeah, we're all good. We were planning on coming home. We've planned it maybe 4 different times, and they keep canceling the flight. But the weather's been great here, so we've been outside with the kids. It hasn't been as bad as you think. Obviously, we want to get back. I miss my mom and dad and Ashley's mom and dad and brothers and sisters and all that. But from the sounds of it, everything's closed anyways. So
yeah, you really haven't missed much here. It's been rather bizarre, and I don't think anybody ever saw something like this when we first heard about coronavirus and starting in Europe. And obviously, if you believe what you hear on the news, I guess it started in China. But how does it compare there to here? I mean, obviously, everybody's done a really good job of quarantining themselves and not going outside unless absolutely necessary, especially in groups. But how are things over there?
Yeah, I think we are probably three weeks to a month ahead of you guys. It was here first, and the really scary time was maybe a month ago. It was the numbers were skyrocketing every day, and everybody was literally not leaving the house. You weren't allowed to go anywhere other than the grocery store, and there were so many rules. And of course, I don't speak German, so it was really tough exactly what to do. But we pretty much stayed inside and stayed as safe as possible. And then the season ended, and that made it a lot easier, And then, but it's kind of all dying down now. It's the numbers are still a little scary. Of course, we're being as safe and as careful as we can, but it seems like Germany and some of these areas kind of have a grasp of exactly what's going on, and hopefully we're controlling it as best we can. And things are starting to open up, and more people are outside, which from what I hear is kind of a scary thing for the second wind kind of thing. But I think, the short answer is I think we're probably 3 weeks ahead of you guys. Our scary time has seemed to pass, and hopefully we'll keep doing that. And hopefully you guys will follow. And here in a few weeks, you'll be strolling around town,
Chad, I know in a text the other day we were talking, and I was asking you about doing this. You said you're hoping to come home soon, back to the U.S., that is. When do you think that'll happen?
Well, we've had 4 different flights. We had one recently. I'll give you the short answer again. Recently, our flight was supposed to be for the 17th, and then they got canceled and moved to the 19th. And now it has been canceled, and they said it's on hold. So we won't be out any money or anything like that as far as the flight goes. They will allow us to get on any plane that gets us back to the United States whenever we can. And from the sounds of it, from the airlines, if we were to get on a plane like on the 17th or the 9th, I think we would have been like the only ones on the plane. So,
wow.
So what they try to do is they try to cancel maybe 10 days of flights until they have almost let's say a half full plane, and then they'll take off so they don't lose as much money.
Sure.
So we're kind of waiting for that date. I would say my guess and their guess was probably 2 weeks from now we'll be able to head home.
I know that has to have been tough for you with family back here in the States, and I know you can communicate, via Zoom or texting, but, just knowing your family is is here and you're there. That had to really be tough on both you and Ashley.
Yeah, we had a few things we were worried about. Ashley's brother was going to get married actually in Texas there,
Wow.
but that got canceled obviously, and then that kind of, we were really nervous about getting back for that. So when that got canceled, it's sad for them, but kind of took a little weight off of us. And then of course seeing my mom and dad and her mom and dad was putting that off has been pretty brutal. But at the same time, everyone really understands that if we land, we'd have to be quarantined for 14 days anyways, and we can't do any. Might as well wait it out, keep everybody safe, keep my grandmas and grandpas and all them safe, and just really enjoy our time when we do get back.
Are you able to work out? Do they have any gyms open there? Do you have a gym set up in your house? How's that working for you?
Yeah, there for a while. We like I said, we didn't leave, and I usually take a few weeks off anyways. But now they're allowing us to go to the rink, and we're only allowed to be a certain amount of guys there at a time. And there's only the Germans and a few other guys that got stuck here are here. So we usually split it up in 2 or 3 guys in the gym at a time, and start throwing some stuff around.
How about the kids though? The boys and Kane. My goodness, I remember watching him, with you at the Allen Event Center. I'm out there on the ice in the afternoon, just by himself, wheeling around, and just he has that Costello charm off the ice, and he has that Costello skill on the ice. How good is he going to be? And I remember talking to your dad one time, and he said, I got a feeling Kane's going to be better than Chad. How good is he now? We haven't seen him play in a while.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I think we got really lucky here in Crayfield. I watched a lot of tournaments. They basically have 2 major tournaments for his age. And when I say his age, actually, he played 11 and under, and he just turned 9. So they moved him up with the older kids. And the 2 tournaments were one in Berlin and one in Augsburg was the national championship. I think that they must have won 30 games in a row. They didn't lose much, and Krefeld I think was the best team in Germany, and they won the first tournament, major tournament, which was pretty much the national tournament. And then I think they got 3rd, and then next they got upset a little bit, but he holds his own. He's got a lot of work to do. I tell him, he's a good kid. That's all I care about, and he's fluent in German, which is pretty cool, and. School's been canceled, so he's ripping up the town on his bike. And but the one you got to watch out for is Camden, though. He doesn't care. He might be Martinson's favorite player. He doesn't know the stats or the goals or he just knows how many fights and hits he got into. He's pretty fun to watch.
He might have a spot. Marty will still be coaching then. When Cam's old enough. That's great. And, obviously I can't wait to see you. What a great year again for you, Chad. And by the way, he mentioned he played for the Penguins. 52 games this year, 54 points. That's Costello-type numbers. Tell us about your team this year. How good were you guys?
Yeah, it was a tough year. It really was. That's the second tough year in a row. The first year, though, we really, really should have made the playoffs. We just kind of blew it. We had a big point lead on the team that gets in last, to get into the playoffs. We kind of blew that lead. I think it was 9 points with less than a month left, and we blew it. And then this year, the writing was on the wall earlier than that. It was it just wasn't the greatest year. It happens. We had times of greatness and times of terrible, and it was tough. But we learned a lot, which anytime you lose that much, you hopefully you learn a lot. But that's frustrating. I remember Marty always used to say, in order to win, you have to have players that want to win more than they want to score and get points, and I learned it the other way. I wanted to win so much that losing hurt so bad that I didn't even care about scoring anymore. I was literally just worried about, let's just win some hockey games here. And it got frustrating, but I think this organization just got bought by new ownership, and hopefully they're on the rise, and we'll see.
You had some great moments in Allen. Obviously, the 2 championships would be the first, I'm sure, that comes to mind. But talk about some of the other moments in Allen, some of the special times, because we had a really tight group there. And, me and Spencer talk about it quite a bit, and how much fun that was when we were winning and we knew we were good. Not we, you. I just happened to be along for the ride, but we knew that the team had a chance to win every year, at least when you were here. Talk about that and how much fun that was, during your time in Allen. I know we'll never forget that last year, because I still feel like we were coming back. We were going to beat Colorado and move on. It didn't happen, but you still had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's funny, when time passes, you kind of still remember certain things of the journey, and the journey is so fun. And and you said, when you looked at our roster and how close we were as a group, and with our leadership, with the coaching and Coach Martinson, you said it. You really believe that it's championship or fail.
Mm-hmm.
But you try not to get too ahead of yourself, so you just kind of live in the day. And the great thing about playing in the Allen American jersey is you truly have the best opportunity to win every single game, every single night. And you're not going to win every night, but
Mm-hmm.
you have the opportunity to win every single game, every night. And that's really fun hockey. That just brings out the competition inside of every player in our room. And slowly you just become such a great group that competes at such a high level that you're really hard to beat, and somehow Martinson gets that clicking at the right time. It looked like he was doing it again this year before the whole virus stuff. And that was fun to see. I could see, he had some tough years there, and as competitive as he is as a coach, I'm sure getting back on top here is pretty fun for him. So, but yeah, I would say the journey was awesome. I still talk to a few guys, which says a lot. But I still remember that Colorado game, and I don't know when, but I really want to fix that ending, to be honest with you.
Well, I'll share this, and I think I've told this a time or two on a broadcast. I remember you telling me after Game 6, before we went to Game 7 against South Carolina, you said, not only are we going to win, Tommy, we're going to shove it right up there. You fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Not only that, one of the greatest moments from that game, and everybody felt that year you should have been the MVP of the league. I know you said that doesn't mean anything to you. It's, it was all about the championships, and I know you mean that, because you're about as humble of a guy as I've ever met. But everybody felt that you really got screwed that year, not winning the MVP. But that breakaway goal you scored on Jeff Chikaitis, I think, was kind of just cream on top, whipped cream on top, sugar on top, cherry on top, whatever you want to fill in there. That to me was the moment that I remember the most about that season, because right there when you scored that goal, I had no doubt in my mind. I think Maurice probably felt the same way. We were going to win the championship that day.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I really did. I thought when that went in, I thought, okay, it's on. They're gonna have to cut off my finger to get this ring off. I really felt that. But going back to the MVP deal and stuff like that, to be honest with you, I feel that the guys on the team, all 20 or 25, whatever it is, deserved a championship more than I deserved an MVP. So that goal in that game was so much more about the 25 guys getting a ring on their finger in a championship and seeing those smiles. It was so much more about that than, the MVP didn't even exist in my mind after that game. It was a special day, and one I keep pretty close.
Two more things for you. We had a kid that played with Allen this year, Tyler Sheehy. He won the Rookie of the Year, 70 points in 47 games. And I told him on numerous times, I said, you're dipping into Costello territory. Not many people have come in here and put up those type numbers. And he really took that as a compliment. And he's well aware of what you've done over the years. And I think I said, I would love to see you two guys on a line together and imagine how good that line would be, because much like you you were one of those guys that could make that blind pass tape to tape. Nobody else knew that pass was coming except the guy, and Jack Holmes probably the one that I think of the most, because you guys could have, played with blindfolds and still scored and put up points. But I think you and Tyler Sheehy would have been on the same page too.
Yeah, I followed his season pretty good. I think I don't know his exact birth year or anything like that, but I know he's got some great hockey ahead of him, and hopefully for him, the next step is taken and well deserved. I mean, a lot of the times you see a guy get called up so early in the ECHL year that you don't know really what he would have done, but it was nice to see him get at least 50 games in there or so, and see how consistent he can be as a player. But yeah, it was awesome to see the whole team have that success. Yeah, I looked him up a few times. I saw he was doing pretty well, and I was really excited. I saw he's right-handed and kind of working the same spot as me in the power play, so I don't know how that would work, but I'm sure Marty would find a way to put one of us in our spot. So, but yeah, he must have been exciting to watch, and the ECHL in general, and especially Allen Americans, seem to be so young.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be fast and fun to watch, and like I said, hopefully someday he'll move up, and Allen fans can cheer for him in a higher league.
The very last thing for you, and I remember you told me this 5 years ago, and you said, Tommy, I know one thing for sure. I want to retire as a member of the Allen Americans. Got to ask you today, do you still feel that same way?
Oh yeah, 100%. I hate making promises and all that stuff, because you just never know. I mean, you never know. A time like this just shows you an example. I mean, you didn't get to finish the season, so
Yeah.
You never know what will happen, but or who's coaching or what, but I always envisioned my last year definitely being back there. I thought that it was going to be sooner than later, but I guess I'm going to have to play till I'm 40 or something. But hopefully Marty will still be around, and we think about it a lot. I'll be honest with you. My wife absolutely loves Texas. My kids love it there. And like I said, the plan moving forward is that one game against Colorado. Every once in a while I'll wake up a little early and think about it, because I did not like the way I just didn't like the way the career ended there in Allen, and so I guess I won't call it an end.
Chad, thank you very much for doing this here this afternoon for us, evening for you. Say hi to Ashley and the family, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
That's Chad Costello. Great to see him. He always looks the same, and boy, can he play hockey.